How's it going, guys? And welcome back to yet another episode of Couch Coach Sports. I'm your boy Bjorn, and as always, joining us is Dean. Dean, how's it going, my brother?
Always good, my G, always good.
Jukskei Derby today, bro. So it's a big game for us, especially growing up as Joburg boys. We're big Lions fans. Today,
Yeah.
the big one for the Lions supporters, the Bulls. Obviously, a game that the Lions fans always want to win. They want to get the bragging rights in this one. What's your thoughts on the
Yeah,
game?
bro.
Lions, Bulls quite close this year. Lions have a bit of a resurgence as of late in the URC. So what's your opinions on the game?
Bro, I think it's a hugely important game for the Lions, bro.
Yeah.
Like the Bulls, they're already flying. You know, they can afford to maybe lose this one. But for the Lions, for what they've been doing and for the direction that they want to be going in, if they win this game, bro, the levels of confidence is just gonna skyrocket in these young boys, bro. And I really do hope that it happens, bro. As you know, obviously being a Lions fan, you want the best for your team, but the last, let's say, month, 2 months, have been great for us, bro. And if we can carry on like this, I mean, this is the fixture that it needs to start in, you know?
They definitely need to pick up a few South African derby wins. We've seen in the last couple
Yeah.
of years, that's probably where they faltered the most, is not picking up the win against the rivals. But talking about this big Jukskei Derby, let's have a little interesting little another fantasy squad builder debate on our hands. We're going to do a little bit of a combined 15, bro, of this year's teams. Obviously, guys, there's going to be a few players that are out injured. We're not necessarily picking the exact players between the two teams that got picked today or anything. We're just going to go on who we think probably the best players in each position from each side. So, do you want to get into it, bro?
You guys get stuck in, brother.
Okay, do you want to start us off with the front row and the hooker position?
Yeah, bro. Okay, so number one, Gerard Steenkamp. I think he's been immense, bro. He's the future of the Bokke team.
Yeah.
Two, Johan Grobler. Johan Grobler, I think just a bit better than PJ Botha, bro. So they're pretty similar,
though,
but
I think you missed a player there in hooker, but anyway, keep going.
Akker.
Yeah, Akker van der Merwe.
Bro, I was thinking of
Warthog.
it. Forget that. Akker number 2, bro. Number
Yeah,
3,
okay,
it's
fair.
Volko plays there, yeah? Volko.
Yeah, Volko Low plays there.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I mean, you
Volko
can't-
3.
yeah. Bro, this might be another little situation where we have a Rainbow 15 again, guys. Please go watch that video. I started off with exactly the same as you, Bulls front row. I went with Gerard Steenkamp, Akker van der Merwe, and Volko Low. I think experience tells, and as you mentioned with Gerard Steenkamp especially, he's probably the future of Springbok rugby in the prop position. We saw him get a few opportunities, or maybe one or two in the Springbok team recently. So he's a top class player. Johan Grobler, you mentioned Self, I think is actually a good player. I think he's another one that's got a big future in South African rugby. But I think at the moment Akker just edges him. The way Akker plays and the experience that he's had, also his time at the Lions, I think Akker van der Merwe for me he's one of those exciting players. Maybe not always the most technical player, but he's just such an exciting player.
For sure, bro. For sure.
You want to move on to the locks? Who do you have?
Let's
Roo?
do
You keep
this.
going. You keep going first.
At 4, I've got Ruan Venter.
Okay.
I wanted to put him at the flank, but I thought he
There's
can play
other
lock,
flanks
plays
that
lock pretty well.
you had to mix it
And-
around. I'm
and-
exactly the same.
Yeah. Him and Ruan Nokia.
Both Ruans. Yeah, I'm exactly
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
as you, Roo. I was also looking at Ruan Venter in the lock, in the flank position, but then I just saw there were so many good loose forwards for both teams, so I shifted him as well to the lock position. He has played there a few games before. He's another one that's probably very close to getting a South African call up. His versatility as well and the strength and everything that he gives to the Lions team. We've seen how immense he is when he's actually in the squad. So Ruan Venter and Ruan Nokia, another one that's both of these guys could easily be South African locks or South African players, just Springbok players in general. Do you want to move on to the loose forwards? I know there's one player that you're gonna want in the team already. It's me, Mr. Cameron Hanekom. Hey, your favorite at the moment.
For sure, bro. Hanekom 8-6, Marcus van Staden 7, Ulrich Low, Cameron Hanekom number 8, bro.
Okay, I went a little bit different. You know me, I'm a Frankie Horn man, so I went to Frankie Horn at 8.
Frankie Horn.
I was going to pick him. I don't have Cameron
Yeah.
Hanekom in my team. I think Cameron Hanekom is an exceptional player. He's probably going to make the Springbok side before Frankie Horn, but I think Frankie Horn I don't know, he's an exciting player. He's put out a little bit of size this year. He's also captained the Lions before. I think we saw him in the SA under 20 setups. He's also just a very talented player. Very much reminds me of the Warren Whiteley mold. So I went with Frankie Horn at 8-7. Ulrich Loos, I think he picks himself. He's just been exceptional the last 2 years. what a player he's going to be for South African rugby in the future. And yeah, 6 I went with Eskom, Marco van Staden. Like what he offers also is just, he offers that like Heinrich Brissot role. He's an animal at the breakdown. So Marco van Staden definitely for me. I think 9 and 10 though, which we're moving on to next, guys, could be quite an interesting options. Who did you go for, Dean?
I went with Krappie van der Merwe, and bro, I went with based on form right now, I'll probably go with Goosen, bro.
Yeah, so you went a little bit off form. I also got Goosen in the team, but not just necessarily based on form. I just think just talent-wise, he's probably the best option. Like both teams have. We've seen my number 9 is actually Sanele Nohamba from the Lions. We've seen him play a lot at 10 recently. But I think out of all the 9s, he's probably the best suited at the 9. Like Ambrose Papier and all those guys, also very, very good players. But the consistency levels just aren't there with them. Whereas with Nohamba, I think is a little bit more consistent. So I went with Sanele Nohamba at 9, and then 10, Goose, Johan Goosen. Talent-wise and everything, he's just been the best.
Nohamba, I wanted to put him at 10, bro, but you know, like I was thinking of having him at 10.
It's so difficult to leave out Johan Goosen.
So yeah, I agree with you. Let's go with Nohamba at 9 and Goosen 10. I agree with that one, bro. That's
awesome.
That's solid.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to the wings, bro. Who do you have at wings? There's quite a few options of shifting players around and stuff, but who did you go for at the wing?
Bro, it didn't really need to shift him, but I went with Edwall and Kurtley Arendse. So Edwall van der Merwe, Kurtley Arendse. I think they're having fantastic seasons, bro, and they're at that level where if they were a Bok pairing at wing, the whole country would be happy, you know?
Yeah, I also don't think there'll be any complaints with them. I went with exactly the same choices as you. We've seen Kurtley actually do exceptionally well in the win for the Springboks. I mean, World Cup winner himself. And Edwall van der Merwe probably been the Lions MVP over the last 2-3 years. When you see the big difference he makes to the side when he's actually in the team, the tries he scores and the defense he puts up. I think all around he's just another really, really good player. So 11 and 14, once again, we went with the same options. But guys, with a lot of these fantasy squad builders, especially when you look at the players, a lot of these guys actually end up picking themselves. It's quite obvious who you're going to go for. So who do you want to go with in the centre combinations before we move on to fullback?
Bro, I went with Low and Van der Wyk, bro. I think they're a bit better than Creel and Stegman.
You missed someone.
Stegman.
No. Keenan Moody.
You go with him over Henko.
No, I've got Henku van Wyk and Keenan Moody in the side. I got 12 Henku. I know he doesn't always play at 12, but he can definitely fill in as an inside centre. And I went with Keenan Moody at 13.
Yeah, but I didn't know he's shifting positions now, bro. I didn't know if I could.
Oh, but Keenan has been playing 13 for a few games.
Fair enough. I like that centre partnership. I just picked on like who's been playing 12. You know what I mean?
Playing in the form. No. I get it. That's why I said at the beginning I went with a little bit of a different setup. I went with who I think can play there, and we've seen actually Keenan play 13 before. So I think maybe even in the Booker team, we're probably going to see him play more as a 13. I mean, he's very much, if you even look at his trajectory and stuff, he's very much similar to Rico Aone. They started off at the wing, and they've got the same size. They got the same size. They even play a similar brand of rugby. So for me, I think we can't leave our Keenan Moody out of this team.
Yeah, but we are the cast coaches, so we can decide our teams.
We can change how we go, guys.
Henko van Wyk 12, Keenan Moody 13.
13, I think so. And then 15 was another interesting option because you could have gone with the youth and the excitingness of Kieran Horn, or you could have gone with the experience of Willie LaRue. Who did you end up picking?
I went with the experience, bro.
Willie went with the experience.
And what's interesting is playing amazing rugby now at the Bulls, bro. He's controlling the game a lot more, bro.
What do you think of? We actually missed one guy, Devon Williams. I know now with Willie coming in, he's probably going to be the starting fullback. But Devon Williams, that little bit of glimpses we saw when he was playing for the Bulls, he looked quite sharp. Obviously, a very exciting style of rugby player. He reminds me a lot of like the 7 style players like your Roscoe Speckmans and stuff. But Devon Williams is another one that he definitely makes the list. But as you mentioned, I think Willie's just got the experience at the moment, and Kieran Horn is one of those players that just seems to keep on growing, like very much like how Tyron Green was when he was at the Lions.
Yeah, but I think it's just time in the position, bro. I think we can't really judge him off the time he's had compared to Kieran and Willie for the time they've had. You know what I mean? So he's a fantastic player. Exactly, he's a fantastic player, but we just haven't seen enough of him on the field, bro. So it's.
I personally went with Kieran Horn. That might be a little bit of a bias, but now that you mentioned it, I do think Willie probably does edge him a little bit. Willie, the only problem
Yeah.
I had with Willie is he's getting on the wrong side of 30 now. I think he's going to be 35 this year,
Yeah.
34, 35. So his career is probably going to be heading like a downhill faster than like he's going to get any better. Whereas with Q and Warren, I think he's probably just going to keep on getting better and better each year. I don't really see Q and Warren making the Springbok setup this year yet, with Willie probably still being in the side. So that one I'll actually concede to. I think we can go with Willie at 15.
Sweet, bro. Sweet. So you want to read out that team there, bro?
I can read out. Okay, wait, before we read out team, we didn't decide who's going to be at 8. Who's going to be at 8? It's going to be Hanekom, or is it going to be Frankie Horn?
Bro, let me give you Horn there, because I see Hanekom's not starting this weekend, and so it's just been his first season. I think Frank has done it at least 2-3 seasons.
More consistently
bro, so.
over the last couple of years. Okay, fair enough. So we're going to go with Frankie Horn there. Okay, so guys, we got Gerrit Steenkamp at number 1. Actually, the whole Bulls front row. Akka van der Merwe at number 2. Volkelo number 3. 4, we got Ron Venter. 5, Ron Rokia. 6, we've got Marco van Staden. Eskom. 7, we've got Ulrich Low. 8, Frankie Horn from the Lions. 9, Sanele Nohamba. 10, we've got Johan Goosen. On the wings, we've got Edward van der Merwe and Kurtley Orense. Center positions, we've got Henko van Wyk and Kanan Moody. And then to finish off the side, we've got Willie Leroux at 15. But please, guys, if you guys see any changes, I'm sure you guys do, you guys normally have, please leave it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all those good things, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.